Have you ever thought to yourself, that'd be cool to learn that? Well, in this 5-step framework, we can teach you everything you need to know. All right? That's right, children and adults. I'm telling you what it is. Well, I heard this from my good friend. Don't know his name, so how is he my good friend? Who knows? We're in New York. New York, New York. You never thought trees would be in New York until you get here. And you're like, whoa, it's actually very pretty. And the energy's good and the vibe's right. And we're doing all right. So, New York. Back to you, wanting to learn everything. The idea of thinking and learning. 5-step framework. The guy claims it. My friend tells me, hey, look, just be a Pacers fan. I'm like, but I'm in New York, not Indiana. He's like, no, you need to be a Pacers because there's 5. When you spell Pacer, it's Pacer. The pinky was a little slow on that one. Hey, but who's talking? Who's walking? Me. All right, so P stands for, he's like, hey, you got a book? You got a video? Well, there's 5 places you can put that information when it comes into your head, and it goes in 5 different places. That's the framework, right? It's like little buckets of beautifulness, right? I mean, look at this. This is nature. I'm in cinematic mode. Look at this little touch. I'm out of it. I'm in it. That's Apple for you. I'm winning. That's Bose. That's who cares? Who knows? I'm back at you. So what he was saying is information. If you want to get the information, the data into your head, all you need to do is when you receive it, you receive it and then you place it, right? You receive it and you place it. And so where you place it is first, P, procedural. How does this work? The actual steps to getting this to work, right? So if it's a steps, a list, a checklist, a listicle, what I'm trying to say right here, boom, that's what you do, all right? So that's lists, procedurals. How does this actually get done? How does it work? What is it made out of? All that good stuff, right? Procedural. So that's a P, right? And then you got A, and that's allegorical, right? So if you're a historical, you got the allegorical. Allegorical is basically just using the symbols, and it's basically story, and it's basically attaching things that you know to the new information. So we like to do that. The color is red. I'm going to attach danger to red. I'm associating it. I'm symbolizing it as whatever. So a better example would be, I'm learning something about organic chemistry, right? Well, what I can do is if the helium and the hydrogen are made up of atoms, well, I'm going to say, okay, being an atom, you got negative people, you got positive people, and you got people who are neutral. And they're all in a party because that's a party, right? If you have a negative and a positive and a neutral, that's a party. And my friend Adam is always the thing of the party, and that's an analogy for me connecting what an atom is made of, basics, into what I know. And that's an analogy. And that's a story, right? And so then the next step, C, packed. We're right now at pack. He says, my friend was telling me, he said, hey, look, you got to understand the concepts. And I said, okay. So conceptually thinking, it's like the context, the things around, right? The things around the things on how to do it. How you doing? And so when you know the concepts, the things around the things, and the things on how it goes, and the things that connect, let's see what this is. I just went survival mode. There's a creature in the west. Let's see what it is. So, things around you. And so conceptually, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, what was that? It's white. It had white on it, and I went quick to it. But this area is beautiful. So, in concept, so you're the things around. And that's not a pretty picture, so we'll go back here a little bit. Nature. So, the things around you, you have to understand the concepts, the high level, the You know, you got to get the foundations of what is this, what is going on here, the concepts. And then you got to go into E, the evidence. You have to have little tidbits of stories, stats, data, figures, things. Oh, that's what he's also talking about. I'll get to that later, but I probably won't because we're working on it. I'll get to it later and later, right? So he gets to the stats and statistics, right? And so when you go to the statistics, you, what's it called? That's the stuff that you just need to reference and remember, and you're just always regurgitating and repetitions. And so that's the evidence. What evidence do you have? Well, I have the 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the experiment and exercises that I can give to you that make this thing happen, right? So I want to see the Hudson River. It's that way. But right now I'm just sitting right here in the golden hour, right? And I think I got something right there. Hey, who knows what it is, but I'm going to finish this video and then I'll go that way. So anyways, the evidence, the experiments that you have ran, that you know that is certain to be true. And that's evidence, or the evidence that are presented to you. And so you put those in that situation. And then the next part is R, for reference. And that's the little details that are like, you know, nuance, the reference stuffs, right? The things that are just little, like, you know, I'm trying to give you an example, the evidence of my what reference is. So like green, like the thing that, I was walking down and I heard a goose, and let me tell you, the goose, the reference is that they're in migration season. You know, the reference was like the bush was green, right? Lose the ums, go with silence, right? That's what someone told me. So my other friend was telling me how to speak like that. And those, whenever you receive information, when you're reading information, when you're listening to information, when you're absorbing information, you put them in those 5 categories. And when you put them in those 5 categories, you'll be making sure your learning pace will always get there. So let's make it stick, right? We got P, we got A, we got C, we got E, we got R, we got procedural, analog, conceptual, evidence, Roger Dodger, reference. All right, so growing up, P stands for Pacer. You know, it's Pacers. It's Pacers. We're in Indiana, and Preston was talking to his friend Adam, who was, you know, life of the party. And when Preston talked to his friend Adam, they got into a conflict, right? And that conflict was over Edith, their girl, a girl that had likings to a certain someone, and Edith wanted to be in the relationship with one of them, but they were arguing, they were conflicting what they wanted. But, you know, they both didn't want to ruin their relationship as good buds, great buds. So when push came to shove, Edith had to go, because bros over you knows, right? I'm not going to say that. Hose, that's a gardening tool. We're not going to degrade women. No, because Edith was a fine woman. However, she just didn't fit for this story, because that was a story about a friend enjoying a friend and saying, hey, we are together. And guess what? Hey, I have your back if you have my back. Hey, and then guess what? I said, you can date Edith. And he said, no, because it's an honor system. Because we're in Indiana, and we're Pacers. We're Pacers for life. We're Larry Bird. He never played there. We're Reggie Miller. You know, we're shooting our shots. And guess what? If something comes in between us, because we're bros for life, you know, who knows? For life, hey, Edith, there'll be another Edith. And guess what? You'll have an Edith, and I'll have an Edith. And guess what? That's how you remember the Pacer thing, and you just put them together. I don't know if that will make it stick, but hopefully it'll make it stick for you, because you got procedural, how to, analogical, analysis, allegorical, the symbolist, and then you got C, conceptual, and then you got E, evidence, you got R, that is referenced. And if you do all those things, hopefully you can make it stick. Who am I? My name is Preston. Who are you? Your name is whoever. And I just hope that you can be all that God has made you to be. And my name's PC, and we're going to try to make it stick. Yeah.